Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern Ned Reynolds, back in the studio Monday morning. I was following that Missouri State game Saturday, and man, so close, but not close enough.
Making reference to the basketball game?
Yeah, against Middle Tennessee.
Well, yeah, they couldn't find the range. That was their problem. Shot only 42% from the field, and the Bears team is better offensively than what they showed in that game, and that's too bad, too, because when they're on from the perimeter, from three-point range, they can play pretty well, and they can play with anybody, but they could not find it. Only 42% for the game, and Middle Tennessee State came away with the victory. That puts the Bears into the first round. Of course, they were probably there anyway, but first round of the conference tournament, which begins tomorrow night. Now, the Lady Bears, they went on the road to Murfreesboro, Tennessee to play Middle Tennessee State and lost it 86-75. Lady Bears lost on two fronts in this one. They committed, they being the Lady Bears, 16 turnovers, and that's not going to win when you get that many turnovers. And the defense. Middle Tennessee State had two players on their team, Elena Contreras and Blair Bogus. They combined for 60 of the 86 points that Middle Tennessee had. One had 31 points, the other 29. That's unconscionable how you can allow that to happen, but it did. These kids were hot and indeed got the victory out of it. Okay, so a loss there for the Lady Bears. They are still going to play on Thursday, and they will play Middle Tennessee State again. That's the way these conference tournaments work. So, indeed, we have a couple of games coming up for the Bears and Lady Bears. Now, the Drury Lady Panthers played in St. Louis. They played Maryville in the semifinals and lost 70-64. The Panthers, the men's team, surprisingly made it all the way to the championship round before losing yesterday to William Jewell, 67-48. Now, what that does as far as their postseason is concerned remains to be seen, but right now I would have to think Drury is an unlikely representative in the National Division II tournament.
The other game of note over the weekend I thought was the Razorback Tigers game. That was really, really something. And I think a lot of Tigers fans thought they had it there for that last. They felt like you could hear it in the stadium, or the basketball arena. The fans felt like they had it, but I was like, it's still about 10, 11 minutes to go, guys.
An Arkansas team that is very puzzling. Missouri is as well. Man for man, player for player. I think Arkansas is probably the better team, and they did win. They won it in overtime up at Columbia. The really galling thing for Mizzou is Trayvon Brazile from Springfield Parkview and Springfield Kickapoo, who originally was a Missouri Tiger, and he played for them for 1 year, then transferred to Arkansas, and boy, he put it to the Tigers in this game. When he plays, he's 6'10". He's a thin 6'10", but he's very athletic, and when he wants to play, that team can be pretty good. How they play? They're going to the SEC tournament. Of course, like all the other teams, they'll be down there in Nashville to play. If Arkansas is able to play well and consistently and they get their star player back in, which he did not play in that game against Mizzou, they're a load to handle. Now, can they beat a team like Florida? That remains to be seen. Florida, in my opinion, Mike, is the national championship contender.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun here to watch in about a week when that thing gets rolling. So we've got Palmer Invitational over the weekend. Who got the dub?
Akshay Bhatia.
So say that 3 times fast. I dare you.
He's a young kid. He's only 24 years old. He's left-handed from Los Angeles. He's of East Indian descent, but he's an American, and he's a lefty. Very thin. He's painfully thin, but this guy can play the game so good that he overcame Daniel Berger on the final day. Berger led from start to finish, or near finish, because down the stretch, Bhatia caught him, forced an extra hole of playoffs, and won it on the extra hole. That has to be really disappointing to Daniel Berger, who seemingly had things won. First prize is $4 million. This was a signature event, as will the one coming up this week. But Akshay Bhatia, who has been right there on the cusp, did get a very big win.
And congratulations to that now millionaire. Probably was already, though. You know, one of the problems I kept talking about for the St. Louis Blues up until the Olympic break was if they could just figure out a way to hold the line they win these games. Now I think between now and then they figured out how to hold the line because they just keep winning.
They are winning. They swept their road trip out on the West Coast, won last night over the Anaheim Ducks 4-0 now. Here's the key mathematics figure here. The Blues have, I think I'm right on this, 18 matches remaining in the regular season. Can they win enough? They're still 4 games under 500, and they're quite a ways out of the playoffs. But if they continue to win, and if they continue to get some help from the teams above them, it is possible that they could squeeze into the playoffs as a wild card team. Now, whether or not they can get it done, but the bottom line is they have to keep winning and hope for some breaks. And the Blues are doing their share of it. Nice win. Now they come home to the Enterprise Center for a whole series of games. This will be very interesting.
Be nice to see people show up, and if they get back to 500, I'll be happy. If you needed anything to watch this weekend, you're crazy because there's all kinds of sports happening, including the World Classic. How's Team USA doing?
Well, they're doing well. They're undefeated in pool play so far, and the top 2 teams from each of the pool make it into the next round, or the quarterfinals and semifinals and so forth. So the USA team, the red, white, and blue, plays tonight, and they play in Houston at Daikin Park, which is the home of the Astros, and this is a big one. There will be a sellout crowd on hand. It's the USA versus Mexico, and the Mexican team, which of course is all major leaguers, just like the USA team is, they're loaded. They've got all these big sluggers on there who are bombing away with the long ball. This is going to be a dandy game tonight. Now, who's going to pitch for the USA? I think Paul Skeens from the Pittsburgh Pirates will get the start. But what does Mexico do? The Mexican team has seen them all. They know exactly what to expect and all that sort of thing. This should be a very good game, and with a raucous crowd on hand, it'll be a lot of fun. That game is tonight. There are a couple more games remaining in pool play before we get to the finals.
We've got Missouri State Bears were in action this weekend. They get some wins?
Actually, both the Bears and Drury had very big games. And in yesterday's game, pitching Mike was only a rumor for both teams. What are you talking about, a rumor? Well, first of all, the Bears swept the team from Memphis, swept them right out of the ballpark, took all 3 games. But yesterday, 13-12 was the final score. And I mean, that ball was flying all over Hammons Field. The Bears did get the lead, had 7 runs in the first inning, and let it get away. The Memphis team is not real good, but with the wind blowing out and all sorts of things going on, the scores were piling up. And Memphis did score in the top of the 9th inning, but it wasn't quite enough. 13-12 the final. The Bears get the win and the sweep. Drury played Augustana, which is located in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. They're on their southern trip. And the Augustana team, folks, is a national contender in Division II almost every year. And they will be this year. Augustana took all 4 games from Drury over the weekend, including yesterday, which was a 16-13 game. Where was the pitching in any of these games? Well, there wasn't any. What it was, the wind is blowing out, the wind was howling, and each team was able to capitalize and smash a lot of home runs and extra base hits and things like that. So you saw 2 dandies, but Drury loses all 4 games to Augustana. The Bears win all 3 games from Memphis.
Had a hell of a race down in Arizona this weekend, and we got the win in NASCAR.
Ryan Blaney, he breaks the streak. What happened to Tyler Reddick? Well, he was only in 8th place for this one. Anyway, Ryan Blaney held off Christopher Bell down the stretch for the checkered flag. They race at the Phoenix International Raceway, which is frequently the site for the NASCAR championships. It was last year when Ryan Blaney won. So he's quite familiar with this track, as are all the other NASCAR drivers. But Blaney held on to win this one, and Tyler Reddick, who had won the first 3 races, first time ever to come out of the chute to start the season and win all 3 races. He finishes in 8th place, but he'll be a contender. He's a good driver. So are all the others. Blaney gets the win this time.
Ned, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.